Okay, hello everybody. Good morning. Let's have a quick video on a Saturday morning. Again, trying to get up as much as early as possible. It's not quite as important, I don't think, on the weekend. No, normal markets are obviously closed. We've had some bounce, some move on some altcoins. I've posted some futures stuff on my Telegram. So, as I said, I took some profit across some of my positions spot-wise to free up some cash, put it into the futures market, and I've been, well, let's just say, attempting some knife catches. Well, with some of them it worked out quite well, others have been stopped out instantly. It's been very difficult, but I'm hoping that I've caught some significant lows, if not the lows, or some lows. Then I'm still in the midst of some significant bounces. So all altcoins are different. No altcoin is the same, although many altcoins do follow the same kind of trajectory, but they're not all the same. And this is something we always seem to recognize, probably recently more than ever on the Patreon. Now, we've always spoken about buying into strength, not weakness. Basically, buying into the top caps, really. They're the ones that have sustained their uptrends for longest. They're the ones that look healthiest. Now, in the event that we see some form of alt rally, alt season, altcoin outperformance, or whatever that's suggested on the dominance chart here, I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying it to be inflammatory. I'm not saying it to be anything crazy stupid. Let's say what I see, really. Then all altcoins will benefit, right? That is the case. Now, the fear and greed index, last time I checked, and I don't check it very regularly because it is what it is, but last time I checked it was in the mid to low teens after what's been going on for Bitcoin, which is crazy when you think about it, because that's mid to low teens with a Bitcoin price of basically $96,000. Now, it is lower at the moment than I would like it to be. I didn't want it to go down below 101,000, which is why I took some chips off the table and ran it into the futures market, basically. But once we reclaim this area, perhaps, or we see altcoins start to build higher highs, higher lows, looking like they are about to form uptrends, then maybe I will exit the futures market to a point. Again, if I have found, and I've got some good positions on at the moment, if I have found some significant lows in futures, then I'll keep those for the duration of what's left of this bull market instead. But geez, there is a chance, based on the dominance chart, that we will see, well, let's just say altcoin outperformance. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Words lost their meanings now. Right, so we'll start on the total 2. Total 2 on the monthly is still above the 20 moving average in the 21, which is basically the center range, which is basically 65% chance of remaining above that area. In fact, we'll just quickly nip back to it and see what has happened in the past. Revisited, and again, 21 and up. Revisited, and again, 21 and up. Revisited. Okay, so potentially the wick low has already been seen here. Potentially. Maybe. Maybe not. But historically, we seem to have had a decent reaction on that. Now, we lose the Bollinger Band on the total 2 all the bloody time. We also lose the 50 exponential as well all the time. And the 200 exponential would be, on the weekly side of things, the next course of action. It's quite low though, below a trillion. So we do have to think about what that would mean, if it means anything at all. So what we've got here is bullish divergence on the daily. One single drive is not normally enough. We do have some more on the 4 hourly as well, which is okay, but again, not normally enough. And we would be looking for this, if anything, to find a dead cat bounce towards 1.43 trillion. And again, that with the dominance chart curling over on the 4 hourly, and again on the daily. This is death cross retest, and again into the box and down. So all of that suggests that we do keep coming down. Rejection on the 20 and the 21 again suggests nothing more than rejection. The dominance charts is pointing to the idea that altcoins will now outperform Bitcoin. And all markets and all times are different, but I'd like to remind everybody about what took place in the last bull market. If you weren't around here, that's no big deal. If you were, it's just worth thinking about. So, Bitcoin outperformed everything consistently for ages. 2019 is where the bull market began, up and massively up. And then it hit a certain area around here in the $42,000 zone. Significant peak. And then we consolidated, well, about 30%, I think, from top to bottom. Yeah, 31.5% from top to bottom. So these things will happen for Bitcoin, and there was, well, at the time it was more of a rotation event. The dominance chart was at a significant high, but dominance was going down basically while Bitcoin was going down, altcoins were going up. So we can see sort of things like that. It's not unheard of. I have heard of it. I have seen it, taken part in it, benefited from it. Now, it's not the same, similar, but it's definitely not the same. But it is similar. Ethereum has now lost the 20, and now we're back into this area. We've lost the 50, and we're sitting on the 50 simple. Same place as we saw, really, kind of like yesterday, I would say. It's not much different. Slightly lower low with some bullish divergence as a kicker. And if we move over to a 4-hourly, there's no bullish divergence here either, so we're just sort of like meandering for this. But one of the positions I took, one of the altcoins that we looked at on the on the Patreon stream, and something that we've been sort of keeping in the corner of our eye now for a week or two, is Litecoin. So Litecoin 4-hourly golden cross retest, bang, and it looks like we're attempting a V-shaped recovery on this one, 6% up. I've got 2 positions on this, one on BYDFi, one on BloFin. Again, I've got links in the description below if you do fancy to try these things. There's certain perks for setting it up on those links, but obviously check your some areas are restricted, so just bear that in mind. Some places won't let you trade, depends on where you are regionally. Moving over to the daily. Well, the daily got a death cross, but now we're pushing above it. We hit the 20 moving average as well already today, and we're responding to it. We're above 100,000. 100,000, that's the dream. $100, with a view that we will move up to the top of this range at 137, as we've been saying. But I showed a few altcoins yesterday that I was interested in. Those are the altcoins primarily that I've been looking to trade or have positions in. Not all of them have worked, but some of them are still working really well. Okay, so now I'm just going to show a couple more, and then I'll leave it there. And if you want to join the Patreon, we'll be looking at more of it over time. First, Algo, still looking like it's hit the low of this range, hit the death cross. Looks like it's hit a higher low as well at the moment, so that's working out quite nicely. And again, got a position on that low. And XVG as well, which is the wild card, but with a good setup here. Daily moved down into the golden cross, and now we're responding on it. Took a position on this one. This is a crazy chart, really. It's not as weak as many might think. We've got a series of higher highs, higher lows on the weekly, consistent since the bull market began, really. So obviously you look at something like that and think, okay, buy the low, sell the high, buy the low, sell the high, over and over and over and over and over again. And even recently, this year, since April, low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, high, high. Is this where we make the next higher high? So I'm willing to bet that it is. So I've got spot, and I also have futures. And that is basically it. So look, it's not the end of the world. In fact, it could be the start of a new mega pump in these altcoins. Not all of them, but the ones that I'm highlighting, I'm hopeful, optimistic, and, well, positioned to see if it works. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. See you on the stream tomorrow. Links for Patreon and all the other stuff in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.